The hills are alive with the sound of Formula One this weekend as we return to the Spielberg circuit in Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. And as always here on the channel, guys, I'm going to take you through the 5 drivers that you should be paying special attention to this weekend. 5 drivers with interesting stories needing good performances this weekend for a variety of reasons. So let's dive in, and we'll start with Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda really needs to get a good result this weekend. He needs to get some points on the board, but I do think it's going to be quite difficult for him. I think his teammate Max Verstappen is going to do quite well. He is the most successful driver in the history of the Austrian Grand Prix, I do believe, if you also include his wins at the Styrian Grand Prix as well, which was run for a number of years during the pandemic. But like I said, Tsunoda needs a good result. He's no doubt coming under pressure, but this is a track that is very tricky. It's a difficult one for both the cars and for the drivers as well, and being the shortest lap time of the season means that any mistakes, particularly in qualifying, are heavily punished. That is going to make things difficult. You've also got the track limits at the final 2 corners of the circuit as well, proving very, very difficult to get right. So I think Tsunoda's really going to struggle here. I think he's going to do well to even get it out of Q1 just because of how tight those gaps are. We could well see a field spread in the first qualifying session of a second or around maybe a second and a half at a push because the times are usually so close. I think Tsunoda needs to get a good result this weekend, especially with it being Red Bull's home race, but I think he's going to struggle to get it, to be honest. But let's talk about another guy I think needs a good result as well. Franco Colapinto, still without any points at Alpine in 2025, and this is officially his final race if you go off of Flavio Briatore saying that he was only coming in for a 5-race stint at Alpine. Now, I don't expect him to be replaced. I fully expect him to still be racing for Alpine at the following round at Silverstone, but there is pressure coming on at the end of the day. A lot of expectation from those sponsors, a lot of money being invested in him, but I honestly think that car is absolute trash, to be honest. So it's not really a surprise he's not scored any points, but still, I'm just highlighting him because I feel like there's going to be some pressure on him. And around a track like this, again, where mistakes are punished, where the lap times are so close, particularly in qualifying. Qualifying is so important here. You can overtake, but it is difficult. DRS trains are very, very common here with those 3 back-to-back DRS zones around the first part of the circuit. We'll see what happens, guys. But I'm going to highlight Lewis Hamilton, Sir Lewis Hamilton, for my 3rd driver here because I just feel like he needs a clean weekend. And in fairness, Canada wasn't really his fault. He couldn't really do much about the groundhog, unfortunately, that tragically is no more. The one that got caught underneath his car and did some damage to the floor as a result. So that didn't help him there. Canada being a high-speed track, Austria being a high-speed track as well. This is going to be a difficult weekend for him, though. He's only ever won here once, I do believe, in the Austrian Grand Prix format, 2 if you include his win at a Styrian Grand Prix back in the day as well. But even if you include it as 2, by the standards of Hamilton, who of course has over 100 wins in Formula 1 in total, only 2 victories around this track is really, really low. And it's not like he's not had opportunities or a good car to be able to do so. Things have just always fallen away from in Austria. So if things are going to go wrong, this is going to be a track where it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, we're going to Silverstone after this. He'll be looking forward to that 9-time winner there. But yeah, this weekend in Austria could be a difficult one, particularly with this being a good track as well for Charles Leclerc, the only man not driving a Mercedes or a Red Bull to win around this track in the modern era since we have come back in 2014. Lando Norris, number 4, I'm putting as my 4th driver here to look out for. I mean, I don't really need to explain this much, do I, to be honest with you? Given what happened last time out in Canada, I think he needs a clean weekend. I think he needs to change his approach to these kind of battles, particularly with his teammate. He admitted he made a mistake. It happens. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And if he makes a fool of himself around this track this weekend, it's going to be a difficult one for him. But saying that, at the end of the day, this is the track where, of course, the last lap Lando legend was born in 2020, where he actually managed to get his first podium in Formula 1. And Lord knows he's had a lot of them since then. But can he get a win? Can he get back to the top step of the podium? It's going to be tough. Oscar Piastri is an absolutely incredible driver this season, but we'll see what happens with Lando Norris. He really needs to get that gap down in the championship. And the last driver I'm going to highlight the most recent winner in Formula 1 and the most recent winner of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's the same man, Georgie boy, George Russell. Can Mercedes repeat their heroics in Canada? I would be surprised if they did. Not only for the fact that last year, let's be honest, he got lucky to win that race. I mean, you got to be in it to win win it, but Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, if they didn't crash each other out and get all that damage and go further down the order, Russell would have got P3. He was not the fastest man on that day. He was the fastest man in Canada, but in different conditions. Yeah, it was not the hottest, but it's going to be hot in Austria this weekend. 30 degrees Celsius ambient, that is going to be 45 degrees or so track temperature. It is sweltering in Austria at this time of the year. Usually beautiful country, would love to go to this race, definitely on the bucket list. I'll be surprised if Russell even gets a podium, to be honest with you, but he's keeping his foot in the door in that battle for third place in the drivers. I feel like the top two are going to be the top two. It's going to be a McLaren man that wins the World Championship this season, but he may well catch Max Verstappen for third in the championship, particularly if Max Verstappen has to miss a race as well. It's possible. Even after this, even after those penalty points get wiped, he'll still have 9 going into the British Grand Prix and will remain as 9 all the way until the end of October. So we'll see what happens there, guys. But yeah, who is going to win this weekend? My personal pick is Oscar Piastri, but I want to hear what you have to say about this in the comments below. As always, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, have a fantastic day wherever in the world today, and we'll see you soon for much more content from the world of Formula One, just like this.